So if you look at the healthcare situation in Indonesia, there would be three main problems. One will be the access to the healthcare facilities like hospitals. The other will be access to the doctors, the physicians, the nurses as well. And the third will be the access to the treatment, right? In terms of the cost, in terms of the ability to be able to pay for this healthcare. And Indonesia is so huge, as you know, it's wide ranging from Sumatra all the way to Papua, right? And so if you want to be able to build a lot of hospitals in Indonesia, it would be quite impossible in the sense that, yes, you're going to need a lot of capital. You will need a lot of human resources that might also be available because the ratio of doctors, nurses to the patients in Indonesia are still very low, even compared to our neighboring countries. So I do see technology has to be the driving force to be able to bring and solve these three issues in Indonesia. Now, I want to be able to do at least number one, number two, in terms of providing the access to healthcare facilities and doctors through technology. So the things that we do, of course, is to maximize the use of our doctors in our hospitals, right? By using telemedicine, by using what's it called, AI as well to make their decisions to be more optimized as well. So all of these things we have to incorporate. If you want to just do the old-fashioned way in a very, what I would say, offline way, it's going to take much more time, much more resources, much more capital. And unfortunately, the need is very, very urgent, especially in COVID situations, you can see.
How has COVID changed the healthcare landscape in Indonesia? And how do you hope Mayapada Hospital will play a role to perhaps, overcome problems in the future, like future pandemics?
I would say the one good thing about this pandemic is this, yeah. I noticed that more Indonesians now are more aware in terms of their health, because through this pandemic, they become more curious, they become more careful, they become more attentive in the things related to healthcare. If you look at the sales of off-the-counter medicines and supplements, it has actually increased because of that. And so awareness actually is a big part of this pandemic, right? And second, to train also our healthcare workers and doctors that don't be complacent, Something can happen instantly, just like this pandemic, that will change the whole way you have been thinking about all this time. At the same time, actually, this pushes the doctors, especially the more senior doctors who have been always resistant to technology, to actually adapt to technology as well.
Grace, you're also an angel investor. You put in money, you invest in companies founded by women. Why is that?
So in the beginning, when I did my angel investing, it was not focused specifically for female. To be fair, yeah. But recently, yes, it's been more focused on female. Even finding my partners, I've been looking for females as well. This is one of the things that I wanted to give back. I do have some privilege, right, where I come from and who I am. So I'm always so passionate about technology. So it's also right for me, I think, to be able to give a little back to other startup founders who want to start something and don't have that kind of privilege. So that's how I started to become an angel investor. And recently about the female is also an issue that I have been really concerned and passionate about, which is female empowerment and also gender equality in Indonesia and also in this country, in the region as well. So that's why I've been focused on the female-led startups or startups that actually been focused on helping female. And definitely female healthcare, especially, is something that I'm really, really passionate about.
You grew up with two other sisters and you have three daughters. What are your own aspirations for your daughters in the context of the challenges that women face today?
So my aspiration for them is that they'll be able to have a society down the road in Asia we're going to be living, where they will not have to fight or speak louder just because they're women. Right now, even at this age, we females still encounter that, where we have to speak louder, do more to be seen, to be heard, especially in startup situation in tech industry, where it's very male dominated, right? So I really want that to change for my young girls.
What do you think it will take for us to reach that tipping point in technology for women in the industry?
End of the day, have to produce more successful startups that's founded by females. Simple as that. Because of the day, if a lot of these female-funded startups and they don't go anywhere, they're not becoming unicorns, then unfortunately the money will not go to them as well. There's going to be more pessimism. There's going to be skepticism toward female-funded startups. Simple as that.
Which women's startups have piqued your interest? And in terms of trends, what are you looking at?
For myself, okay, I would always look for strategic partnerships, but I would definitely be more interested in terms of healthcare and anything to do with female health empowerment as well. I just had a conversation with a company that does CTG. CTG is basically the cardio technology that you use to measure the baby's heart rate in a mom's, right? So that's to reduce the death rate of mothers and of course of the babies as well.
But give us a sense of the companies you have already invested in and why.
The last one that I invested is actually with two other girls. These two girls, one is an influencer and one is the entrepreneur. So we wanted to do a period poverty, addressing period poverty in Indonesia. So we're creating products basically that will help with this accessibility in terms of period care for Indonesians here. And of course also globally. So products like menstruation cup, products like feminine wipes, those are the things that really interest me because again, it's for female, it's also about their health as well.
Grace, just wondering if you think the next generation of heirs to wealthy families are looking to perhaps deploy their wealth in a different way from their fathers.
Philanthropy, it's also something that has been raised a lot these days. But I do see that a lot of these younger generations, they want to not just make profits, but how to make an impact to that. And I think it's expected from the society these days. It's expected for all of these big companies to be able to contribute back and not in a traditional CSR way, okay, where you participate in an event with the government or with the hospital, not like that anymore, but in a larger scale. And I would say even in a global scale, if you are able to do that. So definitely the trend is there, Haslinda. And now, as for me, first of all, our family, we have to be people who start to also inspire the other companies to be able to do that as well. So if more family businesses, more conglomerates are doing it, then we will see that trend taking place in other companies as well, in other conglomerates as well.
Grace, would you say that business runs in the blood? Is not just your father who's in business, but also your mom who comes from the Riadys family. So it's two big conglomerates.
It's not actually about business, Yahas. It's actually more about working, right? Being more productive. I think that's what I would say. So I would point to one person actually who really impresses me upon this fact, which is actually my grandmother from my dad's side. Until today, she's already 90 years old. She still goes to the office. She's still working. And she once told me to be able to work, to be able to produce something from your work is actually a privilege. So when you wake up in the morning, don't have this mentality like, oh, it's Monday, I have to go to work. No, but you have to say, oh, thank God that we get to work. So for her to be able to be at this age and she still wants to do it is such a testament and such an inspiration to my dad, to every one of us.